Yo, what's up guys? Back at it again with another video. This time it's going to be another One Piece chapter live reaction. It's going to be chapter 1184 this week, but before we get into it, I did just want to say, for me, it is about 9:15 p.m. on Friday, the 29th of May, and this is when the chapter is leaking. At least I saw it leak early today while I was at work, so I figured I got home, I knocked out everything I needed to, I want to get this up, and then I gotta get to bed pretty early. I've got another pretty long day at work tomorrow. We've got a big event, we'll call it, for my job tomorrow, so I gotta be ready for that. So I wanted to go ahead and get this out as quick as I can, but also not delay it and try to get it out like, Sunday or later tomorrow. I'd really rather just get it out in a quick manner today. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get into it. It's chapter 1184 titled Only Bones Get Left Behind. The cover page has Brook on it. He's getting shocked by jellyfish. Guys, the cover page have jellyfish that have emu eyes. I'm not sure how I feel about it, but other than that, it's pretty cool. It's Brook in an inner tube in the ocean being shocked by him while he's drinking tea. It's honestly a really cool looking cover page. We have an Oda note. It doesn't seem to be anything crazy. I saw Tokyo 03 live. I could watch this trio do their slice of life comedy skits forever. They're heartwarming and hilarious. Well, I wish I knew who they were. Maybe they're like the Three Stooges. Maybe. Kind of. Not really. Probably. Not at all. But I read the three of them in, comedy. But alright, so anyways, getting into the chapter. Oh, I guess we've had a time skip? Yes. So when the Princess of Hesperia turned 14, 5 princes came seeking her hand in marriage, drawn by rumors of her extraordinary beauty. So we do get to see Gunko at... How old would she be? Well, yeah, what it just said, 14. So this is... How many years later? Wasn't she, like 8? Something like that. Maybe 9 when we last saw her. So... well, we see her, though. She's defeating one of these princes in battle. They just say, I yield. Honestly, they look really lame, so I'm glad they yield. She says, you're all too weak, and they all just say, forgive us. I have no interest in weak men, and don't even think about approaching me if you can't play music. Music? Really? So she still does have a crush on Brook, guys. Literally. Swordsmanship, being stronger than her, music. That's all Brook. She does look pretty cool. What I will say... From the age we're seeing her at here compared to the youngest we've kind of seen her, like the earliest we saw her at least with the God's Knights, which was probably at God Valley. Maybe God Valley was where we first saw her in terms of timeline. She doesn't look that much older than she was then, so maybe her body's stuck at like 16 or 18 and she's just cut her hair. Anyways, let's keep it rolling. Brook pulls up our guy, commander of Hesperia's Guard Corps, Brook, 27 years old. I hear you thrashed all your suitors, Princess Shuri. Yup, you like strong women, right, Brook? Don't you think I've grown stronger, she says. Not to mention, cuter. He says, you certainly have, as she's making the heart hands at him. She continues, and I bet someday my boobs will be big enough to pop right out, too. I'm with Brook. Don't say that. It's unladylike. Seriously? You sound like my dad. Well, if I remember correctly, how old... isn't Brook, I guess it's undecided for us to know how old Brook... Or how Brook's related to her, if they are or not. Because in the last chapter, I remember seeing that he called the king brother. And we're not sure if he was calling him brother in, a friendly manner. Or if it was actually his older brother. Anyways... Brook then runs over to a couple ladies and says, my word, you're gorgeous. May I see your panties? Will you give that a rest already? And Gunko chucks her sword at him. What's really funny about that actually is that means that Brook has been saying that. That's been his line since he was 27. Because we didn't see him doing it back when he was 20. So I guess it's been 7 years. We didn't see him doing it back when he was 20. But at 27, he is absolutely a fiend for panties. We then cut to Shuri and Brook singing in the garden. From frogs to castle, from kings to cattle. I'm not much of a singer, guys. I'm not going to keep singing the songs. Of the dead, you'll find only bones get left behind. From frogs to cattle, from kings to chattel, maybe? Bones alone, as everyone knows. That's just the way the story goes. Oh, yeah. Yo-ho-ho-ho. Ah-ha-ha. I love your song, Brook. Or your songs, Brook. Her Majesty told me, His Majesty told me the same thing. You really admire my dad, don't you, Brook? My mom, too. And then he begins... This is probably going to be Brook explaining to us. I guess he was my benefactor. If I hadn't crossed paths with your father, By now, only my bones would be left behind. Okay, so we see now we're getting another flashback within a flashback, guys. This is called Flashbackception. We got Brook at 11 years old. He's laughing while he's outside of what looks like a window or a barred area where he's like looking inside. Yep, and he's looking at kids playing music. Must be nice. A school with real instruments. They sound so good. Hey, says somebody, and they chase off Brooks. That filthy street rat is peeping around again. Whoa, I'm sorry, Brooks says, running away. Shoo, scram, you're making our students nervous. Ew, the stench. He's a stain on our country, say passerby women. We did see Brook jumping around in the same outfit I believe we actually see him in when Oda drew him as a kid long ago in an SBS. At the junkyard of wherever this is, he's playing on what looks to be a homemade instrument. It looks like a bottle with strings attached to it at the end of something, kind of like a violin is how he's playing it. The King's bad. Yeah, it's the King's bad. One day I'll play real music, the best you ever had. My mommy, my daddy, my little brother too, with empty bellies rumbling. They had no food to chew. I don't know why I'm even alive. Just crunching on wart frogs to survive. The King's bad. Yeah, the King's bad. Those are some rotten lyrics. Did you write them yourself? Says the guy who appears to be the king currently, approaching Brook before he actually gets big, because he has the same hair, the same nose, but he's not as big and fat, not wearing the wife beater currently. Did you write them yourself? He then points, is that thing? And Brook says, yep, it's my violin. That's supposed to be a violin, he says. I made it out of a glass bottle and some wires. It sounds good, right? Says Brook. It does have a freeing vibe to it, I guess. He says. Brook then says, hey, I've seen you around here before. Are you a fan, mister? He says, aha, you could say that, but don't call me mister. I'm only 21 years old. Say what? You got an old face, yo-ho-ho-ho. You look like you've had it rougher than most. He replies, that's an odd laugh you've got there. Yo-ho-ho-ho. Well, I suppose I'll just call you Big Bro. As a token of our friendship, I'll treat you, Big Bro. I caught some grasshoppers and frogs today. Delicioso! Dude, I'm loving this flashback within a flashback. This is, like, low-key pretty wholesome. We do need to now know what happened to a parent. I just realized Brook's shirt says die on it. But he's a kid. That's not very happy. I like, so far, this flashback. It's giving me the Sanji vibes with how he's poor and starving for the most part. But apparently he's also lost his family like Robin, so we're almost getting a cross between like a Law where he's lost his family, or like a Robin where she has no family, and a Sanji backstory kind of together. Anyways, he continues, the secret ingredient is curry powder. I steal some from the naval ships that occasionally come here. It makes anything taste like curry, though I guess that's not much of a secret now. Yo-ho-ho-ho. The man's looking down, staring into the bowl, and then he's thinking back to, I guess, what appears to be when he has seen what, like, you know, people in, like, I guess, like, fine cuisine eat, like, these small little pieces of food on these big plates, you know? And he's having, like, a flashback to remembering what somebody's saying, which is almost like a third flashback within this one. It says, today's soup of the day features a fresh catch from the Euro Peninsula. It is dal abalone, simmered in red wine, followed by prime A6 grade ruby beef. Your Highness, this is the young lady of the Suffrone conglomerate. She graduated as valedictorian of the Inoue Academy. And this is while the king, who at this point, he might already be the king, honestly, or the prince of this country, who knows, because they're probably still in Asperia. But he's looking down at his soup while he's thinking about all this, clearly feeling bad about how Brook and so many people have it so poorly, and then others have it great. Brook continues, he notices that he's like staring into the soup and he's getting upset. He says, are you alright, big bro? Are you so happy you're tearing up? He says, oh, yeah, while he starts eating. I can't believe I'm still in Asperia, he's thinking. I'm just a tad tired. I'm still happy to have this, though, he says. And then he starts eating it, and he very, very clearly is having issues stomaching it. He's trying to get, the panel of him trying to get it down is absolutely great. Yo, it's so good that you're convulsing? I'm right, aren't I? That's great, Brook says. Alrighty, time to get back to singing. Later, big bro. And then he goes to leave. Wait, I told you, it's my treat. Don't fork over your cash. We're both going through hard times, Brook says. Wow, this is really kind. Brook is great. So then later it appears, or maybe this is right then or later, the guy appears to come back with what looks to be drinks, and I'll be honest, they look like alcohol and cigarettes. That's what it looks like. And then we see he looks like he's fishing off in the ocean. He catches a squid. Brook is laughing and singing while they do it. And then says, one day at the Cello port in the kingdom of Experia, a marine escort ship appears. Load the instruments into the cargo ship. Handle them with care. And then we just see dripping. Oh, what the fuck, guys? Brook is tied up to a chair, beaten bloody. I don't know anything. It's a mistake. And he's coughing. He's beaten absolutely bloody. Terrible. And it's a Marine who did it. He says, cut the crap. You suck at lying. We know you're the courier. Those gangsters told you to drop off their powder, didn't they? Where did you hide it? We paid our informant good money, and they said you had the stuff. So are you ready to tell the truth now? Are we talking about the normal curry powder here? Brook begins to sing, from frogs to cattle, from kings to chattel. Or I really wish I knew what it's saying. Chattel rhyme, so that's why I'm saying that. Of the dead, you'll find only bones get left behind. Quit singing, they say. It might only be for a split second, but as long as I keep on singing, dying doesn't seem so it'll be over soon. Goodbye, stray doggy. Goodbye, big bro. Stray doggy. I'm sorry. Is there a stray doggy I missed running around in the freaking in the junkyard with him? Oh, anyway. He says, goodbye, stray doggy. Goodbye, big bro. The Marine says, well, the punk's seen our faces now. Let's kill him and go after the gangsters. Of the dead, you'll find only bones get left behind. He begins to cry. And then the king breaks in. Brook! We see all the Marines getting ready. The king approaches. And so he is the prince at this point. Because Brook shouts out, big bro! And the Marines respond, it's Prince Leuven! What? He's a prince? Says Brook. I'm really glad to see you, Brook. I don't know what I'd do if you died. Please stand back, your highness. Leave the rest of the guard corps. Shut up. I'll handle this with my own hands. These damn bastards put my good friend through hell. Look at the state of them. I'll give them a taste of their own medicine. Hey, wait. It's the Experia Guard Corps. Prince Leuven, we've apprehended the dealers from the Moron family. We've also confiscated the illegal drugs and arrested the courier. Their courier? So this kid really had nothing but curry powder? And that's when it jumps back. And then we see, Your Highness, please restrain your personal anger. The Navy has the backing of the world government behind it. Leuven responds, if the government is going to shield scum like this, then our world is doomed. Isn't that right, Candle? I am nothing more than your devoted steel blade. I'll always fight by your side. They say, we're Marines, you know. Shut it, they say, as they rush the Marines. You're just garbage. Wow, this is great. As Leuven and Kendall both just absolutely cut down the Marines. Wow, Leuven's a dual swordsman, guys. He's using two swords. Now, what I will say is really cool here. One, this does prove that Leuven is not just weak. He does have sword skill. What I do find interesting, though, is that in this panel, Kendall is calling herself your devoted steel blade, kind of like a devoted knight of God, kind of like what the God's Knights called themselves to Emu, and I have seen theories already saying that Kendall might be a God's Knight or a descendant of somebody from the Holy Land, maybe of the same family that Gunko ended up being from that we saw in God Valley, or the family that she joined. I can't remember which Celestial Dragon family that was, right off the dome. No, I can't remember. But people have theorized if she's possibly from that country. That line right there, I'd like to see the official translation, really makes me kind of question, because that's really that same vibe that Gunko later has, being the, God's Knight, or God's Steel. God's Knight for Emu. Anyways, the chapter continues. Brook realizes he's a swordsman. That's so cool. Did you hear? They're saying that Lady Candle saved our country again. Experia Palace. You up already, Brook? Brook wakes up, still beaten up but bandaged, with Kendall and Leuven there. I'm not angry at you, Prince Leuven. I simply ask in future you keep in mind the weight of your royal standing. I got it, I got it. Hey, Brook. So you were a prince this whole time, huh, big bro? Yeah, about that. I'm really sorry. It's not like I meant to deceive you. I just really enjoyed spending time with you. More importantly, you better not tell anyone that you swiped that curry powder. Every time Prince Leuven goes missing, it scares us half to death. Sorry. I need to read. Also, we get another panel for Candle from back in this time period, but all it says is the same thing it says in her 120 years ago, or when Brook was 20. So, commander of the Asperius Guard Corps, Candle. So she's been the leader at this point since Brook was young, and she is still the leader when Brook is 20. So for over a decade. But it's where he says, more importantly, you better not tell anyone that you swiped that curry powder. Oh, yeah, because he doesn't want them to know that they saved a thief. Every time Prince Leuven goes missing, it scares us half to death, Kendall says. I never would have guessed that you were spending your free time with such a cute little friend. And she taps his face. And that's when Brook falls in love. There we go. Oh, sorry, I didn't realize your wounds were still so deep. Oh, it's all good. Don't worry about it. Tell everyone. This kid is my favorite musician. Get him a room in the barracks and give him a proper musical instrument and arrange for him to attend school. A new star is about to be born in Asperia, he says, running off excitedly. And Brook's just sitting there thinking like all these dots and just, whoa. And then the prince is shouting, I love this kid, and from now on, the palace is going to be a lot more fun. And Brook's just bawling, crying. I mean, he is absolutely crying while he sits here listening to him. And we're going on break next week. The act of generosity would never be forgotten. Wow. Okay, so this was a good chapter. I'm not going to lie. Very, very nice. It was cool getting to see Leuven actually be cool. Honestly, we got a flashback and a flashback. I'm wondering if we're going to pick up back up on this flashback within the flashback next time. Or if we're going to skip back to probably a little bit ahead of this. Maybe when he starts school or Brook being a couple years older and have been there for a while. But he's not officially royalty. Brook does come from a different family. Brook's family's actually all dead. Apparently, Brook, did it say he had a younger brother? Let's go back to his song. My mommy, my daddy, my little brother too, with empty bellies trembling, they had no food to chew. I don't know why I'm even alive, just crunching on wart frogs to survive. Oh, those are the dogs. There's two dogs right there, barking and then growling at him from the junkyard. That's what he was talking about, the angry dogs. Wow. Brook's great, I gotta say. I mean, honestly, Leuven's pretty great, too, because he's, like, patrolling his kingdom and, like, going around, and he sees this kid going, like, out in the junkyard, probably approaches just to see what's going on, and is realizing the real state of, the world and his own country. There are people in my country starving. There are kids in my country starving, literally dying. That's not right. And he thinks about how they have all this great food. How are we not giving food to these other people? It's actually really cool because it shows that whoever Leuven's father is might not be a bad king, considering Asperia doesn't seem to be a place that's like, they're afraid of their king or they hate their king, and they clearly don't hate the prince either. The king's probably a decent guy, he just doesn't know how to fix these problems. In the Asperia that we see later on, I don't think we see a junkyard or a scrapyard or whatever this is there. So I'm guessing Leuven and Brook and everybody, they clean this up. They get this all fixed. They fix the country. And that's actually really cool to see. Like, this, he's a really great guy. And it makes me like him a lot, which is going to make us feel really bad when Shuri kills him or when somebody kills him and then Shuri gets blamed. And because this guy's awesome. I mean, Leuven's legit. And Brook's legit, too. I'm really curious to see or to hear what Brook's family name is. Actually, maybe get Brook's full name at some point. And figure out, did his mom and dad and little brother, were they all just born in the kingdom? They were all just normal people. Brook was born and they all died and he managed to barely survive and that's just it? Or are we going to get more? I'm kind of curious. Like I said, though, really awesome chapter. I'm really, 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 guys, suspicious, though, of Candle. I like her. I like her a lot. But here's the problem. She has now said that the devoted steel thing, kind of like the God's Knights say, as the devoted God steel to Emu, right? She also brings up again, hey, Prince Leuven, I simply ask in your future you keep in mind the weight of your royal standing. And the reason this is brought up is because earlier she made the point to say, where is it? Isn't it about the Marines? Where is it? Your Highness, please restrain yourself. Your personal anger. The Navy has the backing of the world government. This is a random guard to say this, right? But her whole point is she said that back to him later, that you got to remember your weight in royal standing, because him being one of the kings of this country, if they find out that he went against the Marines, right? Well, guess what? That kind of makes that country look bad for going against, the Marines and the world government. And since he's a part of the royal family, it causes a problem. Thing is, she directly knows that even more so, potentially being a God's Knight. And just the way she dresses, the whole look around her. She seems nice. But here's the thing. Lots of the God's Knights could probably act nice and then not really be nice. So I'm curious. I'm very dubious as to if she's good or bad. I want to like her. She's really cool in, design. I really like her. She's really pretty, really badass, right? So she's great. Not sure if I trust her yet. I trust Leuven now, without a doubt. Leuven's going to get killed in cold blood by probably him trying to help save his kingdom, or save Shuri, or maybe by Kandel, whoever it is. I guarantee Leuven's going to get done dirty because he seems like a really great guy. Brook gets done dirty in this because he's a good guy, as if he hasn't already been done dirty in life. But I really am feeling bad for Brook, guys. He had it bad as a kid. Whole family died. It got a little better for a while, and then it got bad again when his big bro, the guy who gave him everything, died. And then he joined the Rumbar Pirates, and then, half of them died and split off, and then the rest of them ended up getting poisoned and died. And then he had to wait in the Florian Triangle for years. When the soul finally got back to him, right to his body, he ended up being on the ship with all his dead friends' bodies for quite a long time, and then he got his shadow nabbed. Really, Brook had it awful from really the time that I'd probably say since the end of the Rumbar Pirates, if not the separation of the Rumbar Pirates, all the way until he met the Straw Hats at Thriller Bark. That is really wild. But that's honestly, Brook's had a lot of bad time in his life. I respect Brook a lot and I love him. So this makes me feel really, really sad for him as a character, because I love Brook so much. One of my favorite Straw Hats, for sure. But anyways, this chapter's done. Like I said, if I had to pick a favorite panel, guys, it's probably going to be the one of Leuven and Kandel cutting through the Marines. Getting to see Leuven actually pulling up for Brook is super awesome. I'm genuinely impressed that he is a swordsman and a dual swordsman, that he is a guy. Because when we see him in however many years from this, 10, 13 years, 12 years, I don't know how old Brook is here, but he's 20 when we saw the King last. However many years in the future it is, I would have had a hard time believing that, but now I believe it. So anyways, we'll end it right there. Like I said, I'm trying to keep this pretty short, so we'll go ahead and get this uploaded. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, go ahead and leave a like on the video. Comment down below. Let us know what you think is going to happen next. Since we're on break, I'll do my best to get something else up in the in-between. And until then, guys, I hope everybody has a great night and a great rest of your week. Later.